All right, on today's episode, you're going to learn a little bit about bags and Chris's love with them. I don't mean like bags under your eyes. I mean, Chris is a baggy type guy. Like he likes really high-end bags. No, you don't wear baggy jeans. Yeah, I know that.
Wear some Jinkos?
No, like Chris likes Toomey bags and got real upset with me that I bought a cheap yet highly effective bag with me to PPIM.
We'll see how long it lasts.
In between that, you'll also hear from Vik at Envirocal. It was a fun episode about how maybe you can find out Envirocal Prime and or Pig in a Bag, better known as Pig in a Box. Thanks for joining us on this episode. All right, we're on our PPIM 2023 arc. Welcome to today's episode of Pipeline Things. I am your host, Rhett Dotson, my co-host, Christopher De Leon, and you see we have my guest to the right, Vik Raghavan from Envirocal. We're going to be talking to him. But before we do, you know, Chris, at these events, I know you're a big fan of bags, right? Did you get our bags done on time? The branded bags for us?
They are ready for pickup, but we're here. I can't be in two places at one time.
So you didn't get the bags done. And you're a big fan of bags, right? Like you like it to have a certain...
Our bag is legit.
The bag is legit, right?
Our bag is legit.
So you don't... For you, there's a certain standard you have in mind
a standard
that you should have in a bag. And the Toomey is way up here.
You should find joy when you get your equipment to go to work. It's like a tool, bro.
Be pleasantly surprised.
Like a tool.
It's like a tool? Yeah, so I just had a conversation with somebody and they were looking at my bag.
Yeah.
And they're like, this bag is really nice. And they're touching it and they're like, wow, you even have like the really cool like electronic charger thing on the side. That bag must be really expensive. And I'm like,
yeah, you probably paid
Amazon basic $30 bag.
I was gonna say $12.
Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
He's like, are you gonna have it branded? And I was like, Chris won't let me have it branded.
It won't happen.
Because it doesn't, for him, it doesn't need
swag.
his
There's no swag in that bag. That's a boring bag.
That bag has a lot packed into it that you wouldn't have expected. I didn't even know, but I don't even use all the stuff.
Look.
It's a well-designed bag.
Yeah, well, we don't know the quality of it yet. We don't know if it's going to hold up.
The conference.
I don't know. That's like
and
3
you know
days.
what? I had two options:
like
to show up without a bag, or show up with a bag.
Yeah.
And you didn't come through.
You have 2 other bags you could have used from the last 2 places we've been at. So that's an excuse.
I gave those away.
So
I relied on my marketing department.
Look, he's gonna get a bag when whoever wins the raffle also gets their bag. So they're ready for pickup. I couldn't send the Holy Spirit to go bring it to me, and Amanda's busy. So
there you go. So I carry all my stuff in my bag.
Yeah.
You know, but the way I'm going with this, you're probably really wondering where I'm taking the segue.
Yeah, you better do a good job at this because it's so easy for you to go from that to Vik.
I have not heard.
Let's see your delivery, UPS. Let's go, UPS.
Ready. I've not heard of a pig in a bag yet, but I have heard of the pig in the box. And people have been running up to me and asking me about, dude, have you ever heard of the pig in the box? I'm like, who is this mysterious pig in the box?
I know about
Envirocal. I just learned.
Have you been in a box somewhere?
No,
How
but
do you
I
know
did not know who the mystery pig in the box person was until you showed me the tool.
You were
an hour ago, and I don't think I got out enough in the pipeline industry. And when I saw it, I was super impressed. So that brings us to today's presentation. Or today's guest, which is Vik. And so Vik, I want to lay the background. Our audience has been with us now in a couple of episodes, depending on where we choose to slot this one. And we chose all of the vendors because we hear about different things they're bringing to the market. Our clients come to us and they'll ask, have you heard of this company that's doing that? Have you come to this? And I've been hearing now for probably about the last 6 months to a year about this mystery pig in a box. So I just found out who is the pig in the box. And we're hearing about some of the really cool things that you guys are doing at Envirocal. And I, for the first time, just put my hands on the tool back there and was immediately impressed at the integration of the sensors. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is novel.
Clever.
It's clever.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason we have you on. We hear clients asking us a lot about you. They're like, have y'all heard of Envirocal? You have any experience running with them?
Yeah.
When we get a lot of questions from our clients, that's when we know it's time to go straight to the source. So, Vik, can you introduce us? Tell us a little bit. Who is Vik? Who is Envirocal? Give the audience an introduction.
Certainly. First of all, you guys are good. Really good at what you do.
Hey, if you want to come up with pig in a bag, if you want to do pig in a bag, I just need the credit for it, okay? Right. And I can get you a $30 bag to put it in.
I see that. I mean, I think you're a bag expert now.
Vik, he's not the guy with the ideas. All right. He's the guy you send to the field. All right.
There's some truth to that.
I love it. How you guys got there? Okay. So, anyway, Envirocal, right? Enviro, Cal.
Yeah.
We got, Cal, caliper, geometry, all built into it. The original concept was a high-resolution deformation inspection tool.
Yeah.
It was actually a polar opposite of what you know Envirocal of today. Envirocal today is, we like to think that we're stand for simplicity. Back then it was about capturing a certain market that was niche, such as high speed, 30 miles per hour plus pipelines where you don't have to slow the line down, a more novel approach to speed control.
Yeah.
Where you don't put a speed control unit, rather the tool at 30 miles, 40 miles, 50 miles an hour. So that was our first concept.
I want to pause there just a second, because I think this already begins to set the stage of who Envirocal is, right? So it wasn't that it was a pig in a box alone. It was you were providing a geometry service that was at high speed.
That is correct.
So that already kind of sets the brand, right? It's efficiency, convenience, and technology.
That is correct. Yes, sir. So the speed control is amazing, but we just wanted to do a different take in odd speed control. Where you don't have to necessarily slow everything down, and just have the tool adaptable to different speeds. So you don't have the fault, fail safe and all that you need to worry about with conventional speed control tools.
Yeah.
So there came the idea of a super light, very agile tool, lots of sensors, looks like a spider. Requiring very little differential run through the line. So that was the first concept. We came up with it. We didn't quite work out because right at the time we came out was 2008, and we also misjudged the market. Combo tools were coming out at a record pace, and the total market cap itself for a product like that or service like that was very, very limited, not sustainable enough to run a business, leave alone build a fleet of tools to capture that. The sizes are spread across. So there came a critical juncture where we either had to shut down or find something else. So obviously trying to shoot for the moon, and we built everything. The tool was fully ready. The recorder was able to record at about 75 miles an hour. Got everything squared away.
Did you have somebody that was willing to run at 75 miles?
We have ran, the top speed we have run is about 35 miles an hour. But the recorder, I would say everything was set up to do that kind of speed.
The tool actually moving 35 miles an hour?
The tool is moving at 35 miles an hour, yes.
Let me tell you something. Again, this is why I love the podcast. I bet that 97% of our listeners, out of 100, maybe 3 people know that that's part of y'all's capabilities, at least originally.
I had no idea. I've run into challenges with operators wanting to run at that speed, and they've just been terrified. Like, well, what happens if that little pig runs into? But I like it. You mentioned the weight. Most people don't know if you get the weight down, you take the energy. We're going to go way too technical, but
that's great. That's a very good observation. It's a very good point. I said it, but you latched onto it. See, if you've noticed, our tools are very light in weight. The current tools, and that's because most of our tools are built with aluminum. Even if you use stainless, we are very careful on what parts is stainless. Usually they are short and stout.
I just thought you wanted them pretty, because it was also a very pretty tool, and I was like,
easy to clean off.
Yeah.
You use a rag, it just wipes off.
When the guy handed me the tool, I thought I was playing with a model. I was like, it's a really pretty model. And he's like, no, that's an actual tool. We've run it in a line before. I was like, are you serious? I kind of wanted to take it with me, but he wouldn't let me do it. I thought it was a gift. It wasn't. So
it's a hidden benefit.
Yeah.
So that's where it all started. And then what ended up happening was the business case didn't make sense, so we had to pretty much pivot. Pretty hard pivot.
Yeah.
And having tried to shoot for the moon, we actually went the other direction. Something super simple, something that doesn't need much capital, and leverage what we already have.
Yeah.
And then, so we have caliper, which at that time, required technicians to run on the market. We're talking 2009, 2010.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Combo tools were just introduced, just put you back in the timeline. And we just wanted to come up with a tool that doesn't require a technician to run, can run as a replacement for a caliper at a lower level. Like, you got geometry, you've got gauge plate. Let's just find something in the middle, which say gauge plate, whatever price point. At that time, geometry was give or take 16 to 20 grand. Let's just find something, somewhere there in the middle.
Okay.
And so came the idea of this tool. Now, What's cool about that is this tool actually has the guts of the tool that was capable of recording at 75 miles an hour.
Dude, that's another.
I want to send it through a pipe at 75 miles an hour.
That's my quote for this like day. It's you got to have the guts to go 75 miles an hour.
So, I mean, you see the hidden benefits of it. So, one of the things that we were challenged with is who are these guys? Where do they come from? How can we trust them?
Yeah.
On and on and on.
New player on the market. And working in a different sphere that's not super common, right? Between a gauge plate and a conventional pig, and it's an interesting market space you started in.
So for about the company's been in existence for 15 to 16 years. The stuff that's in there, most of the electronics that we have had, most of the stuff that is in the tool was designed by me, and then I never had the chance to actually share this part of this aspect. We go to the customer. They ask, "Hey, what's your success rate? How do you do this? How do you deal with this product?" Never had a chance to, actually explain what's actually powering the whole system. But that's it. That level of engineering. I come from a. No,
Vik is powering.
Please.
Powered by Vik.
That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm just saying, so I come from a robotics background. Things are a little bit more challenging. A lot of radiation concerns and a lot of reliability concerns. We start off with putting in FPGAs from Xilinx, which had, that was supposed to be for space grade, because. The way I see it, a pig is sort of like, I compare that to aviation quite a bit, because once you're up in the air, I mean, that's it. You don't get second chances.
Yeah. Once it's in the line.
It's in the line.
That's it.
That's it. And
are you enjoying this?
No, I actually don't know if one show is going to be enough. That is, honest to God, what is going through my mind right now, because I want to dig in. So you didn't come from a pigging background?
No, sir.
And you design all the tools?
The mechanical side of it, there were other people that were involved, throughout the process. So I cannot take.
You bring the ideas to the front, though.
It's a very convoluted story, like you said. It can be shrunk in.
We're gonna have to unpack this.
So
over
I guess what I wanted to say is I don't know. It feels maybe a little bit like you weren't bound to conventional pigging because you didn't come from a pigging background. You knew what the problem is you wanted to solve.
The mechanical engineers. So I told you I joined the company as maybe I didn't. So 2007 I joined as an electrical engineer. The company was in existence. The company was originally founded by Danny Williams, who was from Vetco. He's the guy that had all the ideas for the concept. He shared his vision with me. Mm-hmm. They actually had electrical engineers, everything, and the company was running at least on the R&D scale was running. The issue was whatever vision that he had at the time, especially with the high-speed tool, it just was not possible with the resources that he had at disposal. When he shared that idea with me, I just found I was able to relate to it and I was able to get it out. But once everything, we were not doing well with the high resolution, with that high-res, high-speed deformation tool. We just, tracked back, and when everything started over, I started playing a more, involved role. Yeah. Because at that point, I was more invested. It's a different topic altogether, but you wanted to, I just wanted to succeed more at this point because I'm committed, and that's when I took on an additional role. So to answer your question, you may be able to wrap your head around how electronics and all that from the robotics background, but the pigging itself, I had no idea. I didn't know what a pig was. I didn't know what keeps a pig in the pipeline, what gets it to move in the pipeline. I mean, everybody says, "Oh, put a cup, it's going to get it out." It's not that. It's not that simple.
Yeah.
Put a cup on and it'll come out.
I think what I was trying to get to is it feels like you were able to think. Nah, this is going to be a terrible pun. I'm just going to. You were able to think outside of the box because I see some of the stuff in your tool doesn't look. Yeah, I know. Being right. Just edit that out. Second string Sarah and help us, please. Miss Producer would not approve. It's because here's what I'm going to take a break, but you said something, and I want to make sure we pick up it. You said you wanted a tool that had a capability that fit. But that's not a low-res tool. That's not a subpar geometry tool that I saw back there. I saw 100% capability. Sounds like it has high-speed capabilities. There's a lot more in that tool than something that fits between a gauge plate and a caliper tool.
About 12 years has passed since that idea flourished the first time. That's where the evolution came about. So.
When we come back, we're going to pick up on that evolution. So if you're wondering how we get from gauge plate / caliper tool to the pig in the box that is today, you're going to need to come back after the break and hear from BJ and Ben. Thanks to our sponsors.
BJ Lowe here, Clarion Technical Conferences, and if it's February, it must be PPIM. We're here, that's right, for the 35th time in Houston, Texas, starting in 1989, and here we are in 2023 with another record-breaking turnout for the world's largest pipeline technology-related event. We've got almost 3,500 people coming for 4 or 5 days, almost 200 companies exhibiting on the trade show floor, another sellout. It's not too early to begin thinking about 2024. We sell out around June or July, so clarion.org is where you go to sign up, and we hope you can join us for the next conference if you're not here this year. Another big part of the conference is our training and education program, which takes place on the Monday and Tuesday of the week. And this year we have 8 really great courses, world-class instructors, and almost 300 people showing up for these specialized courses on different aspects of pipeline integrity technology. I'm here with Ben Stroman, my colleague at Clarion. Hey Ben, what's up?
Hey, doing good. Always happy to be here because it's, as we say, it's PPIM season. It's February. So I would like to remind everybody that we also have a very specialized technical conference that's associated with PPIM. And this year I'm proud to say that we have the largest conference program that we've ever had. It has 94 technical papers that were chosen from a large selection of submissions that were very high quality. So we're very pleased to be putting on these 94 papers during the week. I'd also like to mention that we do have online training if you aren't able to make it to PPIM each year. We present online training throughout the year. You can check more of that out at clarion.org. And we hope to see you in one way or another, online or in person. And if you're not here at the 35th version of PPIM, I hope you're here at the 36th.
Definitely.
All right, welcome back to the PPIM 23, our technology arc, where we are sitting here with Vik from Envirocal. And if you were in the first break, and if you're not a YouTube watcher, you might want to get back onto the YouTube channel, because Vik got so excited he came back with a tool, an actual tool.
It's exactly their model. That's how convenient it is. So if you can't tell, like
there's a tool on the table.
I'm drinking my cup of water, and oh, look at that.
Chris might be short, but this tool is real size. Let's be real. So it's kind of funny that, okay, this kind of just speaks to, honestly, in my opinion, how unique you guys are. I picked this up at you guys' booth, and I was like, that's such a cool model. I was like, do y'all give these out? And he's like, it's not a model, man. It's an actual tool. Like, that thing's running the line. And it's fabulous. So this is like,
that's Envirocal.
This is Envirocal?
That's it, man.
Yeah, so
this is the pig in a box. We can put it in a box and demonstrate. There's a box down there we can put it in. So,
so yeah, of course, the pig in a box comes from the fact that we are shipping the tool to the customers, and they can earn with the help from us, but not being on site.
That's amazing. But that's not all you guys do today, right? So again, I want to go back where we left off before the break. So if you're on the YouTube, you need to jump onto the YouTube channel and catch the actual tool. It's pretty nifty. That's a 3-inch? What is
That's a 3-inch.
3-inch tool?
Yeah.
But that's not where you guys are at today. Y'all are doing more than just depth. So take us to, where's Envirocal today? What are you guys doing on the market? What's different?
Okay, so considering where we started, the evolution, and then we latched on to the different market segments over the years, what we have learned is this concept can be taken beyond caliper.
This concept, you mean like this condensed, highly efficient concept?
Yes.
Okay.
So, to give you perspective, so this technology is about, since we had our hands on it, about 12, 13 years. It's been. A lot of things have changed over the years, and we wanted to focus and apply this model, apply the technology into something a little bit more advanced, and that came. That led us to the path of pursuing an MFL tool. Okay. We did a little bit of market research, and we discovered where the industry is going, which is towards triaxial sensors, high density sensor packing, etc. A conventional MFL tool, combo tool, which has multiple sections, would be a difficult. We have a hard time wrapping our head around how we could make that tool fit our model.
Yeah.
We still would like to put it in a box. We still would like to ship it to customers, and we would like to provide more support and let them deal with it. We'll help them deal with it. And that pushed us towards having to figure something out where all of the sensors that typically go in a triple combo tool, basic MFL triple combo, in one section. That's where we are today, and we have been working on it for about 4 years at this point. And we have done a couple of test runs. We have learned that we still have a little bit more work to do. Packing everything in such a small space now requires a little bit more work than I originally anticipated, but we're there. We're almost there. We've had some successful.
So electric engineer and architect, basically, right?
You could. That's a. Once you're one kind of an engineer, you're all kinds of engineers. All kinds of engineers. It doesn't. There's no limit. Especially pipelines have taught me that is your job cannot be confined to one thing.
Yeah. So I want to dig in a little bit because I'm curious just how in the back room this happens. So one of the things I really like about y'all's, I think it's a 6-inch tool you had over there, is I love how you had the geometry sensors combined with the MFL, the triaxial sensor sitting on the head of the geometry, and I was like, oh, that's a fabulous, as you mentioned, like condensing it down, right?
Yes.
Whose idea was that? How does that come out? Were y'all sitting around a table and you're like, hey, how do we do this? Or somebody's like, I've always wanted to do this. What does it look like? Or does a customer give you that idea? Y'all organically driven?
So we drew a box. We know.
It's got to fit in the box.
Correct.
So you start with the box.
Okay, so that I
can see Vik goes, he gets a box, puts it on the table, and he's like, it's got to fit in here.
Yeah, it's not like Rhett's bag. I didn't start with the bag. Rather, it was a more at a figure of speech. Let's just say a bar napkin. We just drew a box, a rectangular box or square box in that, and then we said, this is what has to be done, and our objective was to take this MFL tool to a single section as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so for those of you that are thinking about it, right, basically your typical combo tool, not all combo tools, it's multiple vehicles in the train. So think of a real train, right? You might have an electronics package on the front or some technology, then the caliper unit, then the MFL unit, maybe more electronics with odometers. What he's saying is he's got to bring all that into one body. And so if you think about it, you need square inches, you need space, right, to condense everything into electronics, storage, power, the sensor package, all of that, odometers, all of that under one vehicle. And then you got to put it in a box. And then you got to make it efficient enough to where the operator can handle it and know how to use it.
It has to be rugged enough, yes. Going back to the sensors first, the problem is the physics don't help you there. The most common way to detect deformation is using a magnetic field, a couple of magnets, 2-3 magnet array of some sort, and find the deflection. Now, you combine that field with the main field of the magnetization system, they interact. You take the IDOD, for example, that's sitting on top of, it has to sit on top of the sensor head, and you have sensor head, IDOD coil, and then below that you have the MFL sensors. The MFL is your bread and butter. You want that to be as efficient as possible, but now the IDOD becomes an afterthought no matter what you do. And as luck would have it, the IDOD is closer to the MFL sensors, the board up there, than it is to the pipe. So those are the physical challenges that we had to overcome.
Yeah.
And we did. There's still, some kinks that we got to figure out.
Yeah. Normal.
And then we just took it. We did unit testing on each one of them, and we combined them together and just make sure they all worked. And then we went into start putting it on the tool.
So, if I can, would you where are you guys in this phase? Right? Are y'all still in R&D? Are y'all in the commercialization phase? Just high level, where are you guys at right now with this tool?
So. In a non-pressure environment, we have done several pools, and we have verified the data. We've also done some sizing models, and they all are within the specified tolerances. Within the specifications. In the pressure environment, so far our electronics has been able to handle about 500 psi. We're still working because of the the space for the for the electronics housing. We still have a little bit more work to do to make it all fit in. So
You're talking about functional limitations, run limitations,
correct.
So pressure, things like
yes.
that. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. The physics.
Robustness of it.
Robustness
Correct.
of the system.
Yeah, exactly. The physics aspect of it, or the concept itself, has been proven.
Got it.
It's done.
So we could say you have a combo tool, and I'm gonna go on a big stretch here, right? Because I want you guys to appreciate what we're talking about. You have IMU,
Yes.
MFL,
Yep.
caliper,
Yep.
or deformation. That's correct.
Yes.
And odometer.
Yep.
All of that.
And IDOD.
In IDOD, it is in a box now, and it's functional.
Yep. That's right.
Wow,
Do
that's
you
awesome.
ship via FedEx, UPS? What is it? The orange truck, Penske? Where we go?
So
That's a trade secret. Hey, don't
That's
give
right.
that. Don't
Can't give that out.
Yeah, don't give that out.
Is it like 2-day if you sign up for what do we call it?
Prime?
Wait, yeah, there you go. I was gonna get Envirocal Prime. You get free 2-day shipping on
That's
the
actually
site.
not a bad idea.
Isn't that a
dude.
cool idea? Yeah,
That's
exactly.
actually pretty good. Hey, you
Hey,
sign up
look,
for
I'm giving you
subscriptions.
2 ideas now: Envirocal Prime and Pig in a Bag. If you use either one, I just need you to give me a shout.
Acknowledge. No,
That's
just
all.
acknowledge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout. That's what I said. That's all I wanted to shout.
I have to put your name on it, and I think Prime's too old. Yeah? We gotta come up with more creative.
Envirocal Prime. Oh my gosh.
This is really good.
It's amazing. So in the last bit of time we have left, and I've really enjoyed speaking with you today, Vik. You have a lot of energy. It's so cool to hear the ideas and how you guys are manifesting them. And I really like thinking differently, right? Like taking it modular, simplifying it. Because I had lots of conversations. 2 things you've hit on that have been problematic for companies with me. One is speed. Speed is. So I'm curious if y'all are still willing to run your modular technology at 30 or 40 miles an hour.
I mean, the MFL has physical limitations, but
Yeah, that's true. But the DEF IMU doesn't.
it doesn't. And the sampling rates are high enough. It's just a matter of making sure the tool will withstand and the time constant on the springs not handle it.
Yep.
I mean, there's definitely more wear and tear on the tools as you run faster.
Yeah, but
I've hit on
traditionally,
that.
Speed isn't going to be that big of an issue.
No, it is for
I mean,
some people though.
yeah.
That it is for some people that need to run
But those are on the tail end. of things,
repeatable
right?
inspections after certain threats.
Yeah.
There's a market for that
You-
that's been hit on.
the-
And then the second thing is the operators being able to run it. So I've heard a lot of operators complain like, hey, look, if you want to run a tool, it's expensive. We got to get the whole crews out there, and you're chipping away at that, which is in a way that is efficient, like not chipping away on key things, but you can give the operator the ability to take your tool, put it in the pipe themselves. I mean, that's just
Efficient.
It's just efficient. It's good. So
efficient.
I really like what I'm hearing. Where are you guys going now? What's on the forefront?
So getting the MFL commercialized, I think this is going to be a very big thing. So some of the reasons. So you asked why we put it. What's the idea behind the MFL tool? The MFL tool, obviously, the obvious being an extension to what we're doing.
Yeah.
The other important thing is by shrinking it. For our benefit is one, but you got to look at from a customer's perspective. You don't need to do any more track modifications.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's something in itself as well.
I
Right?
know this is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right,
it's
and
fantastic.
then from 12-inch and we're shooting for a single section. So
A 12-inch tool, single body.
single body 12-inch. So
That's for others. What that means is that 12-inch and up, it would ideally be single body in many cases. I
yeah,
mean,
12. Yes,
that's
exactly.
Fantastic.
Yes, we're at this point in time, we're only planning to go up to 12.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to ask if we're going to come
Yeah.
out with like a 48-inch tool one day. and It's going to be
Maybe that's
48
something
inch
that
single
you know
body.
what? I'm gonna change direction a little bit. So talk to us a little bit, and we appreciate you. And we'll keep you here all day if we don't stop at some point.
Yeah.
Right? Are you guys manufacturing these tools? Are y'all building your own
Yeah,
tools,
who builds your
or are you
tools?
outsourcing that?
No, we build our tools. We design. Everything is done in house.
So that means if you're an operator and you need something, you're able to take care of them.
Absolutely, yes, sir. Yes, this tool is. It's funny. This tool was not a
Was
tool
built
that was
right
thought-
before the show?
They're
Well,
behind the back.
Yes, not our show, not our kind of show. It's kind of show. I mean,
Yeah.
a customer called and said they wanted a tool. I mean, we have. You won't believe that the crisis creates so many opportunities to come up with something new.
Yeah.
Without naming people, but you run a 4-inch line and you realize you have a miter in the 4-inch. What are you going to do? Build a 3-inch, put a 4-inch cap. And it's a non-stop process.
Don't let a good crisis go to waste.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's an
Still
opportunity.
political.
Oh,
You
Well,
just went political.
You know, I'm speaking from an engineering passion standpoint.
Yes.
I don't want to go.
We need to cut this off.
I'm just messing with you guys, but seriously, that's how we have been able to come up with new tools, with cutting edge, out of the box tools every single time. Because a certain pipeline will give you the challenge the motivation to go figure it out.
Yeah.
Vic, you bring so much passion to the table. This has been a lot of fun. So if you're one of our guests, one of our listeners, you really need to give Envirocal a look. Go see their booth. Check out the pig in the box. Maybe one day you sign up for Envirocal Prime. Thank you, Rhett. We'll see. But hey, before we let our listeners go, you're so passionate about tools. What do you do when you're not building tools? Don't tell me all you do is build tools.
I like to fly.
You're a pilot?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So hence that you said earlier that there's a lot of similarities between...
Everything is interconnected in some fashion.
Yeah.
How long have you had your pilot's license?
I've had about 4 years now.
Oh, fantastic.
And you were working on MFL2 all at the same time. That's awesome.
It's all part of the plan, though.
So you're going to fly over the lines too and do right-of-way inspections?
I can test the shipping methodology myself, putting it in my plane, taking the job site.
Are you just going to drop it off? It's like a parachute. You just drop it off and it parachutes down to the...
Actually, my plane's actually SR-22. It does have a parachute, by the way, for the entire airframe, but yes, all part of the plan.
So my wife doesn't know it. So I've talked to my wife multiple times. I've mentioned it. So we live by Hooks Airport in Spring.
All right.
And we drive by it all the time. And I legit told my wife, I was like, maybe a lot of these planes are cheaper than Mercedes. So I think we need to buy a plane. And she doesn't even answer anymore. She just keeps on like, they have a parachute, right? I'll give you another one. Her uncle had one of those, and it about 3 years ago it parachuted into someone's front lawn. If you Google that in Houston, that was her uncle. But anyways,
yeah, they work great.
You've tested a parachute? Nope. This is where we have to wrap it up. I may need a partner at some point in time if he learns how to start flying, because if he flies like he drives, I am definitely in trouble.
I'm sure there's a plane for that.
Vic, I want to thank you for joining us. To all of our guests, hopefully you enjoyed it. And we'll see you again, hopefully next year's PPIM. And thanks for joining us.